Once you've solved your biggest defects, or at least think that you've solved your biggest defects, you might be overwhelmed by the immense amount of flaws, of little flaws that you can find within yourself. Once you've actually solved the things that are ruining your life, like the behavior towards others, or not drinking enough water, I don't know, whatever is most important to you, or at least, as I said, think you have solved those things, you'll be overwhelmed by an overwhelming amount of little things that you have not paid attention to up until that moment. So, how can you actually improve those small flaws that you find within yourself, but not be overwhelmed by them and enjoying the process? Well, it all starts with the mindset. And the first mindset that you need to adopt is seeing defects as a positive thing. Because without them, without actually having the courage and discipline and willpower to look at them without fear and saying, yeah, that's something about me that's wrong, you could never improve. You would never improve. That's how you improve. Looking at your defects with courage, with no shame, and actually saying, yeah, that's wrong. So, once you've actually seen defects as a good thing, as some things that improve you, that actually make you stronger, you need to look, of course, at one defect at a time. You need to look at all of those the hundreds of little defects that you find in yourself, and say, okay, which one of these would bring the highest value to me if I were to solve it? Of course, if a small defect for you is that you don't drink enough water, if you would actually drink enough water, that would bring a lot more happiness and good feelings to you, all sorts of good feelings to you, than, I don't know, stopping, than wearing a watch, for example. Well, or just not looking at your watch so much. Those are both very small defects, but one of them is evidently a bit more beneficial than the other one to solve. Okay, you found that little defect that you want to improve, you've seen it as a good thing, you've improved it, you're left with a couple 100,000 million more. Okay, well, once you go a couple of years solving those things, one day at a time, you might find yourself in a more generalized position of a flawed person. You're probably already pretty cool because you've attentively looked at everything that you've been doing wrong and solving it, but I'll give you an example. This morning I was making some oatmeal for myself, for breakfast, of course. But I found myself being a little bit clunky, a little bit, I don't know how to describe this, I was bumping into things. And I say clunky because I wasn't really in that state of presence and efficiency that you should normally be in. I was bumping into things. I was clumsy. I just didn't really fit in with my surroundings. I felt as if my body was bumping into things and whatever. Okay. We could probably encompass that clumsiness, all of that clumsiness within one improvement, one defect, being clumsy. If I were to tell you, stop being clumsy, you could probably create a pretty good image in your head of what that would mean. Okay, stop being clumsy. Stop bumping into things. Start breathing fully. So I don't bump into things. Be careful when I grip things. That's what not being clumsy means. Being attentive with your surroundings and actually being present, being in the current situation that you are living, feeling the present moment so that you don't screw up within it. That's what not being clumsy is. You can encompass all of that within one improvement. Because, let me be very clear, feeling at least, and also being inadequate is pretty mandatory if you want to improve. If you want to improve the biggest things, the worst defects, well, you first need to have the courage to look at them, then look at them without that shame and actually use the discipline and willpower to eliminate them and live probably the rest of your life with the doubt of, have I eliminated them? Are they still in my personality? I don't know. You kind of need to live with that. And that's pretty cool. There's not really a problem with that. But once you get rid of them, or at least make them a bit less potent, you will be faced with a lot of chinks in your body, in your personality, in your spirit, let's say, in the image of you. So you just need to look at them with the same mindset. Courage over shame, pride that you can improve, and always the patience and the state of mind, the actual clarity to think, okay, it's a good thing. I can still improve. This is not the best that I can become. I'll see you later.